Breath stinks.
Thank you. I love that. That's the first thing that's going to be on the show.
I was like, Andrew.
Yeah, your breath stinks.
What?
Hey, what do you motherfuckers want? A show?
Yeah, right?
Y'all's
you.
breath stinks. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out.
Welcome to OverDose
Dang,
Vapes,
Brett.
the only show brought to you by lanyards. Tons of lanyards. We all got lanyards.
Lanyards for everybody.
Fucking so many lanyards. I decided, as opposed to researching how to legally release my my white girl vape product, I'm just going lanyards.
Hi.
Where did you get that idea? That's epic.
That's an
You know,
amazing.
It's the only thing practical.
It just came to me. I was thinking, you know, people like e-juice, right? But you know what people even like even less than that?
Fucking
Lanyards.
lanyards.
Lanyards. So there's less money to be made, and nobody likes them. So yeah.
You'll be sitting on a ton of shitty product for years.
So I'm gonna have mad lanyards, son. So if anybody wants free lanyards, hit me up. I even got a website. It's www.lanyardsarelame.gov.
.gov.
So,
Our lanyards ain't made in China. They're made Spaniards.
what do you think? I can afford to have my lanyards made in China? I got them made in fucking Mongolia, son.
Mongolia.
I got mine made in fucking in the former fucking the former Eastern Bloc, Serbia and Herzegovina in the war zones.
Herzegovina.
The former Croatia.
Straight up.
Hey, that's where my fiance's from.
What, Croatia?
Yeah.
Nice, I've been there. It's beautiful.
So you can't trust him, and he's a communist or something? I don't know much about Croatia.
I have a purple knife.
she's gonna cut a bitch tonight. Watch out.
I thought it was a dildo for a second. I'm like, what is she holding a big purple dildo?
I would not. That would not surprise me in any fucking way, shape, or form.
That dildo's breast stinks.
It didn't come with cleaner. Sorry.
Anyway.
God, we have fun, don't we?
That dildo tastes like shit.
Shit. Does anybody ever clean their fucking dildos? I bought it at Goodwill, but I figured they would have fucking cleaned it first.
I think that's against the FDA regs.
I'm sure it's against the regs. But you know us, we're outlaws. We fucking like our secondhand dildos to taste a little funky and to smell a little bit like shit.
Chocolate covered pretzel, anyone?
Hey, don't bring my favorite snack food into this. I love chocolate covered pretzels. So, as I sip my fucking deceptive beverage, which I'm sure people think is alcoholic in nature, let's get right into some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
So what's everybody vaping tonight?
God, I'm glad you asked.
And here's the segment that takes 45 minutes to get through.
Do it in slow-mo.
I can't wash to that. What the fuck?
Tried though. That was a good effort.
Is
Yeah,
that
right?
Is that what you're vaping on? White
Yes, I think
girl.
White girl.
I love it. I love it. I love that you had to label it because I definitely did not label it before I sent it out. And just so you guys know, it's in 3 milligram and it's 78.22.
Nice.
I got a white girl in a black package.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about white girl a little bit. Christine, you don't have it yet, but I actually am going to send you a bottle with your turntable. And I have the turntable.
On the turntable with my lanyard.
Hold on a second. I'll send you a letter to you. It'll be funny.
He's gonna send you a Save the Tatas lanyard.
So here is your turntable. I actually legit have it here.
Legit, that's so awesome.
My fiance is gonna fucking get it all put together for you and mailed out on Monday.
Aw, tell her I said thank you.
I will. She's been pushing me. She's like, don't forget that fucking turntable, but I'll send you some white girl too so you can.
Yeah, I'm sick of seeing it on my kitchen fucking table.
Yeah. That way you can be part of this conversation as well. I want to hear everybody's opinion because
No,
Paul, you got yours too, right?
No, not yet.
You haven't got it.
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Wow.
that sucks.
California to Massachusetts, it takes a day or so.
Yeah, but these
longer.
motherfuckers got theirs.
Yeah. I don't know.
And they all sent out the same day, so.
Me and Giz got ours the same day, and he lives fucking 1,000 miles from me.
Yeah.
Well,
whatever.
we had
It'll
snow.
be there Monday. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, we had
No,
snow.
it won't be there Monday because it's a holiday.
I also am going to be sending some to somebody who I'm really excited to. I've been wanting to send it to her forever because it's really important to me that she likes it. Well, you know what? Not even that. It's important to me that she tries it. She probably, it doesn't matter if she likes it or not. I just want her to try it and give me her input, and that's Dawn. And she finally sent me her address to send her some. I've been bugging her for days to let me send her some. And so she finally sent me their address. So I'm going to send her a bottle, let her try it. And all the important people have tried it. Not all the important people, but a lot of the important people have tried it. Pete Goodwin tried it. He likes it. I've really been waiting to have some harsh criticism. And I was expecting that from Giz. And I'm sure there is some, right? But it wasn't the immediate hey, this is fucking shit, I'm throwing it in the garbage that I expected. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm very happy with the way it's turned out. And yeah.
What was the profile again?
Are you ready to get into it?
Pumpkin chai latte with some Uggs and leggings.
Hogs.
You would think that, right? Because it's called White Girl, but it's not. It's not. Okay, so for the millionth time, I'm gonna have to change the name. I think it's not White Girl like. I know, but a lot of people don't understand. It's not White Girl like a white person. It's White Girl like cocaine, like addictive. So I'm gonna have to come up with a different name, I think, because it just doesn't work. But because it really sucks, that I have some really great art for it.
I thought it was white girl like a trailer trash honey.
Well, it could be that too. Whatever you want. Let me show you guys the art that I have for it, because the art for it is fucking amazing, and I'm really happy with the art, the way that it came out. Let me get it up here.
Have you been eating a cat turd?
As a matter of fact, I did, and I'm full. Thanks.
I
Get out of
did.
here.
Thank you so much.
Your breath stinks.
I thought it was a Tootsie Roll.
Yo, your breath stinks.
You've been eating.
Bad.
That breath, though.
She's been cleaning. She must have been cleaning the cat box out, apparently.
Okay, so this is the artwork that I have for it. I really like this. I think that it kind of matches our channel design. It's got that fucking retro new wave kind of thing going on, and I like it.
She's wearing Uggs. See, I told you.
Yeah, I know. We have to play on the whole hey, this is a white girl kind of thing. But she's got cocaine in that bag. She's smuggling.
That's a big bag.
If you notice the palm trees, she's in some kind of fucking cocaine-producing country.
Miami Vice.
Straight up. So I would hate to have to change the name. That would be really unfortunate, but there's a chance. I mean, who knows? Yeah, there's a couple people that I'm really excited to try it. Like I said, I'm really excited for Dawn to try it. And I want to hear what Yeti has to say about it, because he's the one person who hasn't said anything about it yet.
Uh-oh.
Put him on the spot.
I'm going to.
Are you sure you want to hear what I have to say?
I do. I want to hear. I want to hear if it's negative, especially. I want to hear what you got to say.
You promise we'll still be friends, right?
I will fucking be your friend till the day I die, brother.
It's supposed to be strawberry, right?
It's sort of. It's got strawberry in it, yeah.
Okay, that's where I was going with that, because I couldn't detect a drop of strawberry.
Okay.
And I tried it on 4 different builds. Admittedly, one was a cloudy build. the other 3 were flavor builds
Mhm.
and at different wattages also. And I couldn't find the strawberry anywhere in it.
Okay.
I could definitely tell the custard and the creams for sure.
Yeah.
Those were loud and proud. It's good, but like I said, I kept looking for the strawberry.
You were expecting a strawberry cream.
Yeah, strawberry cream, strawberry custard, and
Okay.
it seems like all I got was mostly just custard and cream.
Okay.
Or that's what I got.
No, I'm glad.
And
It's glad to hear that. Totally.
That's why I tried it on different builds at different wattages. I didn't try it all on mechs. I put a couple on a mech, and then I also put it on a regulated so that I could go up in the wattage. And I couldn't detect the strawberry anywhere.
Now, can I tell you my opinion too? Is that I don't get a lot of strawberry either, to be totally honest. And the thing about White Girl that I like is that it's really not it's more than the sum of its parts, right? Because it's actually a really simple recipe. I'm not going to give the whole recipe away, but it's basically butterscotch, strawberry, custard, and cream. And there's some variations. There's a couple different creams. There's a couple different custards. There's a couple different strawberries, and then a butterscotch. I very rarely can vape this and think, oh, that's a strawberry vape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I can taste that there's Capella strawberry. You know what I mean? And I think Giz said something similar, that he can tell that there's Capella strawberry in it. But it's definitely not like I don't get a strawberry cream vape, and I don't really get any kind of like specific flavor from it. It's changing on me all the time. You know what I mean? And that's the way I get it. But some other people are saying that it's strawberry heavy. So I'm getting like a lot of different input, and I'm glad to hear that you're not getting any, because for me, I don't get a ton of strawberry either. So, and not everybody's gonna like it. I mean, what juice does 100% of people like, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, and I don't want people to lie to me, right? I don't want people to say, "Oh, it's bomb, Travis," and where if there's any way I can fucking make it better, that's what I want.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
so thank you very much for your honesty. Anything else?
No, I mean, like I said, it's good. I think the butterscotch might have been throwing me off, because I was thinking that was another custard in there. And I guess it was the butterscotch. I forgot there was butterscotch in it. I'm going to have to revisit it now that my brain knows what's in it.
It's so much different.
I knew that there was butterscotch in it now, but when I was tasting it, I forgot that it was in there.
It's so weird what our minds will do. Like if I taste a juice, I mean, anybody can do it. I really doubt that anybody could taste a juice and tell you exactly what's in it. But then as soon as you fucking show them what's in it, then they go, oh no, yeah, fucking totally, I get that. Yeah. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just how the human mind works. You know what I mean? We don't make those connections until somebody helps to point them out to us and shit.
Yeah.
Happens to me all the time.
Power of suggestion.
Totally power of suggestion. Yeah.
I think that's really true. That's why companies put out flavor profiles.
Yep.
Yes.
They try and sometimes I think they try and embellish what's in there so that you'll read it and go, oh yeah, that's what's in there.
I totally taste carrots in this.
Candy yams, definitely.
Sign me up.
Hot turkey and gravy. Now that you mention it, that's all I get.
That was the secret ingredient. You just gave it away.
Pomegranate. Pomegranate pistachio reduction.
With cantaloupe on top.
With the backside of shitty dildo.
Hey, that dildo's breast stinks.
That poor dildo.
And I really want, I'm glad that I sent it to you guys, because I knew sending it to Giz and Yeti that these two guys, having had as much experience DIYing, would have a lot of valuable input into it. So I'm glad.
So do you want my little critique?
Of course I do.
I like it. It's good. I'll say that right off the top. It's highly vapable, and I do get the Capella's strawberry cream in there, and I'm also picking up a little bit of butterscotch. I don't think it's got a lot of butterscotch in it though, and I'm picking up Bavarian cream in there, and some custard. So
It definitely has custard. No Bavarian cream, which is interesting. But it could be like the interplay between the custards and the creams and the butterscotch could be throwing it, you know.
Right. The strawberry, the Capella's, I can taste that right away because I know what that tastes like. So.
Yeah, and I'm actually thinking about making a change from the Capella strawberry. I actually bought a bunch of different flavorings. I just bought $200 worth of flavorings. And I got like the red touch and I got all the other shit, right?
That's
so
what you need.
I'm thinking about making some little changes to it, right? And seeing if I can bring out flavors that I'd like to see more of. But at the same time, as a personal flavor, this is the shit that I vape 24 hours a day now. And so that says something. I'm also too close to it to make any kind of real judgment call onto the juice, because I have no idea anymore if it's good or bad, because that's all I vape is White Girl. I am way too close to it. To me, it's perfect, but at the same time, I have no fucking clue. So I got to send it out to more people. I got to get it tested more. I want a lot more people to try it. The fact that Giz even thought it was vapable was like a big win to me. I spent the whole day with a smile on my face after he said that shit. You know what I mean? Because
it's actually really pretty good.
You gave it one of these?
It's faint, you know.
Here we go. Ready?
All right. We almost made it all the way up. I like
Like
it.
3/4 masked.
I like it. I like it.
Wait till I get my hands on it.
Now I'm not gonna. You know what? Now I'm gonna fucking call and tell him to fucking send it back my way.
Can you reroute that package, please?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No.
It's already been delivered to Boston.
You know, the whole reason why I waited, because I did wait actually for a while to send it out to Giz and to Yeti and to everybody, is that first I wanted it to steep longer, because I think the longer it steeps, the better it gets. But also because I just wanted to become a lot more comfortable with the way I felt about it before I sent it to other people. And I'm at the point now where I'm pretty comfortable with it and stuff. Keith Black, my homeboy in the fucking chat, he loves it. Keith, you know, you love the fucking White Girl, right? He does. Pete Goodwin, he got some. He liked it too. I think that you know, the people on the panel especially are going to be a lot more critical of e-juice than your average person, which is good. I mean, that's a good thing. So.
Yep.
All right. So enough of my bullshit.
All right. What are we vaping on?
I don't really care what you're vaping on, Paul. I just wanted to see what these guys thought about my juice. That's
Here,
all.
this
Right,
will make you feel good. When I first tried it, it reminded me a lot of this juice.
Siren Song.
Is Siren
I like
Song.
that. I like that.
But I actually like White Girl better.
Wow.
That's huge for me.
That's
That's
huge.
huge for me.
It's fucking huge.
Because Siren Song is definitely I love Siren Song, so I love it. That means a lot to me. See, my heart is swelling now. See,
Bitch.
Right?
bitch.
Pete says panel full of juice snobs. You got it.
Damn right.
Oh no, honestly, really though.
His has a
That's
picky
okay.
palate.
It's
Yeah, I have-
You
I
have
have
to
an
vape it like this. Pinky up.
I can't hit
Okay.
my neck that way.
Joshua Miller, he's picky about his liquids. Josh, did I send you some juice, or do I? If I didn't, I want to send you some. If you're really picky about liquids, I'd like to send you some. I can't remember who all I sent it to at this point. I sent it to quite a few people. Shane,
I don't have
I-
a picky palate. I just have like a really primitive palate.
Well,
You
you get more than four flavors in there, my palate just gets confused. It's like, huh?
I think that's why you like the barn stuff so much. Everything is like three flavors.
Yeah. Nice
Keeps
and
it
simple.
for Yeti.
Yeah.
We're already talking. Okay, so Joshua Miller, send me your address again on Facebook, and I will send you some White Girl. We already got somebody, Keith Black, bringing up last week's video.
Catch it
Oh
on.
God,
I'm
yeah.
not going to talk about about the whole thing, but don't. I of course I did not delete last week's video. Of course not.
No.
Fuck that fool, man. Fuck that fool.
Wouldn't delete
will-
none of my
I-
stuff from anybody.
I have
Yeah.
one. I have something to interject.
Go for it.
And that's for our group of people that are watching right now. If you know who we're talking about, what I want you to do is don't even give the guy a view.
Nope.
You know, don't talk about it. You know, he doesn't get any views anyway, but don't even, you know.
Let's not give him any that he doesn't
Yeah,
deserve.
don't give him any
Don't even give him any
And-
recognition whatsoever.
Yeah.
And for all that is holy, don't even go thumb down his videos, because
Yeah.
he gets credit for downvotes as well as upvotes.
Yeah, any interaction with the video is like a good interaction. So
Yeah.
definitely don't. I heard that Nikki did go hard on him, which endears me very much to her. She's a great lady, but at the same time, Nikki, you know, that's exactly what he wants.
Yep.
Is that he wants to have those
wants the
interactions with
reaction.
people.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just fucking all ignore him.
drama queen.
He's a
In
total.
fact, we'll be the topic of the next video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here you go.
Yeah.
I don't even know you, and
Well, we must be doing something right.
yep.
Yeah. Just the fact that like we were mentioned means that fucking means that we've made it. I think. Flavor Chasers, we'll have to get you on another week. I don't like to have more than four guests plus me, because once you get more than 5 people on here, it gets a little hectic. So just message me on Facebook or something, and we'll work something out. That goes for anybody who wants to come on the show. It's not that I'm trying to ignore you guys or that I just picked these guys. It's just that these are my friends, and so this kind of started as a way to hang out with these guys. And you know, we always have openings. Sometimes people can't make it, and I have no problem bringing other people on the show. So we've done it many times. So
Sorry.
Yeah, it gets a little crazy with 7 to 10 people in there.
it just does. Yeah, it just does. Yeah.
So
Okay, so we were like I didn't do any research. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just kind of gonna go by my thoughts on this topic of regulation enforcement. And I want anybody in chat. All right, I want people in chat to chime in to see if they have any personal stories of any companies or people being held accountable due to the new regulations in vaping. Do you know anybody who's gotten in trouble with the FDA? Do you know anybody who, like, okay, Paul, we see your hand. Just give me a second here. If you know anybody, who's had their shop shut down, if you know anybody who's had their shit raided by, like had labs raided or anything like that, just, let me know in the chat. I see a lot of nopes and no's.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, I think that's what the most of it's going to be. Paul, I haven't forgotten you. Just hold on a second. I also think that with the new administration, think whatever you want about them. I'm not going to get political. I think my politics are pretty clear. I'm a pretty fucking diehard liberal to the point of being like a communist. That I'm not the happiest about the new administration, but I also don't think that right now that the fucking Food and Drug Administration's biggest worry is vaping.
Nope.
I think their biggest fucking worry is staying in fucking business. And I think that honestly that they're tripping right now pretty hard. And I have very little worry that even if I was to just straight up fucking release White Girl as a full on nicotine in bottle juice, that very little would happen to me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah. okay, Joshua Miller, not heard of any bottle inspection, since 6 months ago. Absolutely.
Right.
So Flavor Chasers had said that their local shop shut down. And I have heard of shops shutting down in specific states like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania had a fucking a tax law that passed, a local tax ordinance that taxed tobacco products 40%. And the way the tax worked was that any product in your store owed the 40% tax immediately. So if you had a fucking store full of 1,000 products, you owed 40% tax on those 1,000 products. And so that's what put those specific stores out of business. All right.
I just want to interrupt and say, that's a whole different thing, though. That's state legislation.
Yes, and that's where I was going with it. That's not an FDA deeming reg problem. That's a state tobacco tax ordinance problem.
Yeah.
And there's a huge difference.
Yep.
Well,
right?
And I'd like to interject that I think over the next year, that is what we really need to focus on. You need to really be watchful of what's happening in your own state.
Yes.
Because it's a lot more likely that something fucked up is going to happen within your own state rather than worrying about the FDA all that much.
Yeah.
People that have to worry about the FDA right now are big companies that have a lot riding on this, and all they have to do is, at this point, what they have to do is they have to file their paperwork, which is only an intent to file PMTAs. Right. So, we all know that most of them will never file PMTAs because it's $100,000 a SKU or more, or so on and so forth. But if I had a big, say a big e-liquid company, you're damn right that I would be filing the paperwork that's the pre-PMTA paperwork, because it's not that big a deal to file it. No. And originally that was supposed to be filed by December 31st. Well, they already moved it back to April.
June 18th.
So, when it rolls around in April, we'll see if they move it back to August.
And then when are they actually going to start going through all those fucking things?
Well, that's just
know what I mean.
They don't have the manpower for it. They do not have the manpower for it whatsoever.
And they got to go through each one and say, okay, we're going to call fucking so and so company, and you filed this fucking PMTA or whatever to fucking for this new product, and then you can just say, nah, we fucking we're not doing that product anymore. On to the next one. You know what I mean? Fucking.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I would never, where I'm driving at is, I would never encourage anyone to ignore what you're supposed to be doing, especially if you have, obviously your life invested in it or whatever, because at this point, all the FDA has done is release paper. They released paper last March, and then it went into effect August 8th, and there has been no enforcement so far, but you can't take their lack of enforcement as, or you would be stupid to say, well, to ignore what you're supposed to be doing. Do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
And, it's not
don't take for granted that it's never going to happen.
Right.
Because we don't know. I mean, it could fucking happen. But I also don't think that we all need, like you said, go through the proper fucking channels, file the proper paperwork, and just hope for the best. If shit hits the fan, shit hits the fan. We'll deal with it when it comes. But for right now, this panic mode, pull down your fucking videos, the FDA is going to kick in your door bullshit, is exactly that. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Right. Yeah. The only thing that I've seen come up is ATF hiring underage kids under the FDA regs to go into vape shops to try and buy.
But my local social services does that shit at liquor stores to buy cigarettes and fucking alcohol all the time.
Exactly. It's just another target for them to try and shut down a business because they're not in control of it.
Yep. That's it. And and here's another deal. Okay. There are companies. Okay, I was reading on. I don't know if you guys know Yosh from Vaporgate.
Yep.
He was posting some shit. I forget it was on Facebook or Instagram or something. And he was like, yeah, there you go. He's like, I filed so many fucking, whatever you call it, SKUs before the 8th. There you go. See, you know, that he's like, I have like 100 fucking products that I could make because I filed all the fucking paperwork before the 8th. And there's a ton of people who filed for, you know, generic juice. I'm going to make generic strawberry juice. I'm going to make this juice all before the 8th. So there's a ton of SKUs available from companies. That you just have to, you know, get a hold of that company and say, hey, I have a juice. You know, I'm not, you know, you're going to have to know somebody. I'm not saying you should just start cold calling fucking companies and saying, I got juice to fucking sell. You know, obviously not. But there's companies in the United States that have SKUs available
with that similar flavor profile, because they have they haven't had to give their exact ingredient list until June. What is it? June 18th of 2017.
Exactly. So, and then you know what? Here's another thing. It's not just the United States that can manufacture juice. There's companies in the UK that can manufacture juice for us still. There's companies in Canada that can manufacture juice for us.
They just can't ship the nick with it, and that's fine, because one of the vape shops, actually Inex, Chris, they have a couple of UK flavors and Canadian flavors that they actually give you the little nicotine, nicotine bottle that you nick it yourself.
Well, here's the thing. In Australia, it's legal to order from overseas with the juice with the nicotine already in it, right? So if you live in Australia, you can order from Cutwood in America, and they can send you a bottle of juice with nicotine in it. But if you want to go to a shop in Australia and buy a bottle of juice, they give you a bottle of juice that's got a little bit missing, and they give you a little tiny vial of the nicotine and VG solution that it would take to make that juice whatever milligram you want, 3 milligrams, 6 milligrams. So what I was talking about last time about selling 100 milligram bottles or 100 milliliter bottles of White Girl was selling a 100 milliliter bottle of the pre-mixed flavor in VG, and my idea was, and a sidecar of, say you want that 100 milliliter bottle to be 3 milligram nicotine, you got a sidecar of fucking VG suspended nicotine that you pour in there, shake it up, let it sit for fucking an hour or two, and you got juice. I mean, because DIY remains legal even through the regs. And in my mind, that is DIY.
You're selling the concentrate. You're not selling the right.
And the nicotine.
You're not selling the final product.
I'm not selling. I'm selling them the concentrates and the nicotine, which is what you need to DIY. And if DIY is legal, then how is that illegal? You know what I'm saying? Right. So that was my idea.
Right.
Someone just didn't have the full story, but still reported on it.
That motherfucker started making this video
as usual.
Or the fucking balls to even ask.
Fucking clown shoes.
Fucking clown shoes.
Fucking straight up fucking
just like
clown
with the regs. The regs haven't been read thoroughly. But
they definitely haven't. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, like they can't even start to decipher the PMTA applications themselves. They don't even have the applications fully ready and legally set. So hence why they are doing these pre-application.
Yeah.
So they can figure out, all right, well, we're going to ask for 1 million fucking things for you to fill out. And then we're going to figure out, all right, well, this is the stuff that you sent in already. This is the more information that we need. Oh, by the way, you also need it field tested. What fucking local company, what small juice maker that has maybe 4 or 5 flavors that sells to a local market, we'll just say, in the Northeast, they're maybe in 50, 60 shops locally and they have no national coverage. How the fuck are they going to get it field tested at a goddamn fucking lab,
Yeah.
That's going to cost upwards of a fucking close to $1 million alone just to have each flavor, one run of the samples fucking tested.
Or there's going to be cool companies that already have this shit in place I'm just going to throw out a name. I really doubt they would have anything to do with this. This is the name of a company who has a really great system in place, and that's Nexos. Nexos has a in-house lab. They have in-house all the equipment that they need to do these fucking quick steeps and clean rooms and all that shit, right? So let's just say a company steps up and says, hey, you want to get your fucking products tested? You want to fucking do all this shit? We can fucking help you to upgrade. I'm done. You guys have fun.
So quickly while he's gone, I do have a new toy. Boom.
Yeah.
Farm Brigade Edition High On.
You suck.
What are you high on?
What am I not high on is the question. Yeah, no, this thing's beautiful. I haven't put it down since I got it Friday.
Yeah, they are gorgeous. I was geeking out on them last night.
I don't have any toys coming. They're going to Yeti's house.
I don't have any.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I got these this week. They're giant Benoit balls.
Benoit balls.
Yes.
Those Benoit balls breast stink.
Why are they brown?
Beignets balls?
Beignet balls. Hey, beignet balls are bomb. Those are donuts. French donuts.
You sound much better. Welcome back.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
But you got that frog out of your throat.
Yeah, robotic frog.
Robo frog.
Robo Frog.
Okay, so we were talking about the FDA. I want to interject something else. What we really need to be doing, everybody needs to be doing this, is last week, Cole Bishop is back.
Yep.
And the new number is HR 1136.
1136.
And that's going to be our best bet going forward. So if you want to do something that can actually affect the FDA regs, support that. And, you know, there's been a few changes to it for the better. It's looking pretty good.
Just showing off the gun, sorry.
It's looking pretty good this year because of, you know, the elections that we had. Because quite frankly, a lot of the Democrats were not supporting HR 2058
anymore.
Unfortunately, as a liberal Democrat, it was really unfortunate and it was really sad to see that they were not on our team.
Right.
When it came to vaping, they just weren't. They were not on our team.
Right. And so anyway, you know, make sure that you're supporting HR 1136 and tell your representative in your state to support HR 1136.
Yep.
And Senator Cole and Senator Bishop, thank you.
Yes, definitely.
Does everybody know who their local representatives are? So if anybody's from our areas, they can write letters.
Tom Cole from Cole Bishop.
That's your local representative.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah, Yeti's got an easy one.
Okay, so mine is Jared Huffman. He's from the Northern California, from Humboldt, from Mendocino County, all the way north to Oregon. So Jared Huffman, if you want to, that's our local House representative. So if you want to send him letters, I've sent him many letters. I've talked to him on the phone. Because of where I work at a rape crisis center. I actually have, I can get in to talk to these people quite a bit. Because I'll just say, hey, this is Travis from Project Sanctuary. And they go, oh, yeah, no, Representative Huffman would love to talk to you. So as soon as I get him on the phone, I'm like, no, rape is bad and shit. But let's talk about vaping. Because that shit's important.
That's fucked up.
So it's a little fucked up, but you gotta use the tricks you can. You know?
Well, they rhyme.
Right.
Vape and rape.
Vape and rape. Let's talk about rape.
Chris.
I know, I could be savage.
No
offense.
We got a spoil sport in the fucking audience.
Just on that, if you don't know who your representatives are, a really good website to go check out is CASA, because they'll help you figure it out.
Pete, good
Yep.
on you, Pete.
Good, Pete. On.
I was gonna say, let's invite him on.
I'm just gonna remove him.
I gotta fucking choke him out. I have the two biggest epic thunder cunts as my.
Well, yeah. Hang on. I'd like to
senators.
respond to that. Since this guy seems to know everything, I guess this is my chance to go ahead and set him fucking straight. It's not. It's rebranded. The wire is already on the market as of right now. You can buy the wire right now.
It's got a SKU as we stand right now.
And it's already been filed. I don't know what you're why you're wanting to nail me with it. It's been done. I mean, sorry. I mean, it's already been taken care of, pal.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, I'm on your crosshairs, but it's already been taken care of.
Because you're a fucking criminal, Yeti. You're a fucking criminal.
I guess I'm just trying to help my fellow vape fam out and cut them a deal and get them some decent wire. And
here's what I don't understand: is that what is it business of his?
It's not.
Yeah, really. God forbid somebody make a nickel.
I'm gonna tell you what: if the FDA fucking did ever show up to call me or to fucking show up to talk to me or to Yeti, I know fucking exactly why and who sent them our way.
I'm not worried. Everything's on the up and up, so I'm not worried.
I'm not even fucking doing anything.
Yeah,
I'm not even fucking telling anything. But I'm just saying, like, it's pretty obvious that this guy has some kind of fucking grudge, and like for whatever reason, he fucking is the vape police. So don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
But it's not malicious though. It's not malicious.
Oh no, he's trying to help. He's just trying to help. He's trying to be one of the buddies.
Yep. So, thank you. Thanks for your input.
We appreciate it.
We'll put it in the circular file.
Flavor Chasers
Anyway.
feels bad for him. Don't feel bad for him. If you knew about him, Flavor Chasers, you wouldn't feel bad for him.
Right. So anyways, I got the two biggest thunder cunts out there for senators. Ed Markey and Liz Warren. They are the biggest.
You mean Elizabeth Warren?
No, she's Liz. She's
okay. Because I was gonna say, don't call Elizabeth Warren a thunder cunt. She's a good one. She's one of the good ones.
Well, Elizabeth Warren? Yeah, no, she's a thunder cunt in Massachusetts. She's pro the 40% tax that we're facing right now.
Okay, but she does a lot of other shit that's really good.
No, I will give it to her, but for the sake of vaping, she is one of the biggest anti-vapor proponents out there.
Democrats fuck us on this vaping thing. It's hard to hate them,
She does do a lot of good for the community and for Massachusetts and for women's rights and everything, but at the same time, she also fucks over a lot of good people as well, and vapors being one of them.
That's politicians. I totally agree with you. None of them are fucking good.
No, but they're both like, you send them a letter, they send you one back. She'll respond with a lot of actual hatred for vaping. And I've actually gotten into email wars with her specifically about vaping and taxes and everything like that, and I see those fucking juice names. That's awesome. But
I love it.
She's she's one of vaping's worst enemies, and to even try and get them to sign on for anything, we'd have to oust them out of their representative spots.
Well, here's the deal. I'm gonna get political for 1 second, okay? Lose subscribers probably. I'm gonna just be real. I got no fucking hatred. I do, but I'm not gonna fucking spew my hatred here. But there's a movement right now. It's called the Justice Democrats. You can go to justicedemocrats.com, and basically what it is is that we've decided that the Democratic Party, we're sick of them being corporatist. We're sick of them taking corporate money. We're sick of them fucking kowtowing to the right. We're sick of them fucking trying to meet the right in the middle. And so what we're going to do is we're going to primary every fucking single representative in the state and in the House and in the fucking Senate. And we're going to fucking primary the fuck out of these lifelong politicians until we can get somebody in there who fucking does what we want done, what progressive values that we believe in, that the Democratic Party were based on. JusticeDemocrats.com. Go check it out. Right. That's all I'm going to say.
Anyways, back to them. They're thunder cunts.
Totally. Gizzard?
Yes.
Who's your fucking representatives?
Anderson and La Brea are my representatives.
Oh, I forgot mine. Kamala Harris is my other one too.
Holy shit.
In the House. And they're both Democrats. And not sure where they stand on. So I would like to point out that some of the Democratic positions are changing a little bit.
Yes.
Some of them are starting to listen. The things that have been helpful is kind of getting them. A lot of them, I think, have the mindset there a lot. You know, they're all about save the children. And, you know, the American Cancer Society. And,
yes.
And a lot of them have, they get money from these groups too. So I think the stuff that's come out of the UK recently with from the Royal College of Physicians and can't remember what the institute over there, but it was a college or something.
Yeah.
In the last couple of weeks, they came out, you know, and they're reiterating the fact that vaping is 95% safer than smoking. And of course, in the UK, they have their health care is single payer or whatever, and you know, it's run by the government. So the government over there has, you know, I think that's why they're embracing e-cigarettes, because they actually care about the health of their constituents, their people.
Well, here's the thing about the UK too, is that they have socialized medicine.
Yeah.
So there's no money. There's no money for the politicians to be made in medicine. So,
Right.
so they only have the people to answer to. Where in America, the pharmaceutical and the medical establishment has so much money tied up into politics that.
Well, and that's what I was driving at. In the UK, it still comes down to money. But if you have a healthier population and you're paying for all of their health care, then then they're a lot more open to things that are going to save them money. In other words, if people are healthier, if people aren't smoking, then they're looking at the facts and figures 10, 20 years down the road.
Yep.
All the money that they will save because they don't have all these people dying of cancer. Here, when people are dying of cancer, it's big business. You know,
oh yeah,
it's big business for pharmaceutical, especially. You know, and
hey, I watched my dad fucking suffer from cancer to the point where they had to remove one of his kidneys, and he almost died. And then they had to fucking, every 6 months they're going up his fucking dick with a camera to fucking make sure that the cancer. I know that's like really, you know, a lot of information, but this is the reality of cancer. Is that they have to shove stuff up penis to fucking make sure that the cancer's not coming back, and then they've had to cut things out of his bladder several times, and this is the reality. And you know how much if he didn't have Medicare, how much it would cost him? Over $3 million.
Yep. So far, my dad's treatment for his second round. Now this is just second round of his brain cancer. Is close to about $3.2 million, and it's only been 5 months since he's been back on treatment.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, think about the initial surgery to take out the initial tumor, the scans, the radiation, the chemo for his first bout with it, You know, that was close to $5 million alone. And if we didn't have, if he didn't have the good Medicaid and pension plan that he has, he would not have been able to afford any of that.
Cancer is the biggest fucking business in the medical industry.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment that we have a fucking alternative that eliminates a large part of that cancer business, they get scared and then they start fucking trying to fight against it.
Think about the American Lung Association. I mean, they've made money off of. I mean, you go buy. Get this. You go buy a package of patches, right, from the pharmaceutical company, from Merck or whatever, and it's in the corner. It says approved by the American Lung Association. So they're in cahoots with each other.
Yep.
And I was just trying to make the point that if you did have socialized medicine, then your government's paying for all of your health care. And so that's why they want people to be healthier.
They don't want to fucking pay for those $3 million fucking
tell everybody
operations.
to eat granola and they're going to have less colon cancer, then they're going to tell everybody to eat granola.
Absolutely.
Over here, they're going to tell you to eat McDonald's because they're making money off of cancer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
got Michael Cooper in the chat. That's my stepdad. He said, you know, my dad is a miracle. He's alive and his friends are all dead. That's not just hyperbole. Hyperbole, I mean.
Hyperbole?
Hyperbole. I always forget how to pronounce that word. It's a good word, though, hyperbole. My dad's friends, literally, there's none. There's none left. My uncle died when he was 49 from drinking and from smoking and drugs. And I mean, they're all dead. They're all dead. They've all had heart attacks and cancer and you know, various maladies related to these legal things that the government pushed on us, like alcohol and bad food and fucking cigarettes, and it's sad, you know. And then you go to someplace like the UK where you're right, where the NHS has a vested interest financially to keep you healthy.
Yeah.
You know, we're fucked.
Pete.
Pack a hyperbole.
Damn right.
You know, when I first started doing overdose vapes, me and Josh would get fucking toasted, right? And then we'd film. If you go back and watch some of the original videos, I look ridiculous, dude.
You were lit as fuck.
I'm like, whoa, looking like so fucking stupid, right? And it got to the point where I'm like, I just can't. I can't do this anymore. I fucking look retarded, and
is that a hyperbole?
No. You're approaching hyperbole status. And that's not to say, you know, I'll be open. I do toke, you know, occasionally. Not like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I fucking toked 24 hours a day because I grew up in Northern California where weed is literally everywhere.
Humboldt.
You know, Humboldt, Mendocino, we're all really close together. There's a lot of killer pot coming out of this area. And I get it all for free, you know, so, like, I would never go pay for pot or anything. I don't care about it that much.
Just take a walk in the woods.
Yeah, he just walks down the street and picks it off of somebody's fucking branch.
Or I just fucking say, hey, stranger walking down the street, you got a doobie? And they go, yes, here you go. Here's a half pound of fucking skunk. But, yeah, so you won't see me on videos, if I can help it, looking fucking retarded anymore, because it got to the point where I was embarrassed, man. There's somebody posted a comment and they're like, "This fucking dude's wrecked," and I'm like, "That's it. No more. I'm not doing that shit."
Travis is reading the comment like, "You don't even know."
I was reading the comments like I'm a fucking 30-year-old man, and that's fucking embarrassing that this fucking kid is going, "Look at how toasted this fucking host of this show is."
He's baked off the baked apple pie vape.
Yeah, totally. You guys want to hear a funny, ignorant story?
Always.
Okay, so I used to be able to vape inside my my office because my boss vaped in my office, right? But then she got promoted to our coast office. It's actually Josh's fiance. She is now the executive director for our coast office. So she moved, and so she no longer works in the same office as me. And so I continued to vape inside for a while, But it was weird because I was the only one, right? And people would like kind of be walking by, kind of giving me the stink eye. And my main boss was like, "Oh no, it smells good. I don't really care." You know what I mean? But then California passed those laws where like you can't have any kind of fucking tobacco product, including vaping, in the office. So they never said you can't vape inside. But I decided I'll just go vape outside because it's polite. And I was vaping outside, and we have behind us, we have a crisis center for homeless people. And then we have on the other side of that, we have it's called Manzanita. It's a mental health service center for homeless people. And so we get a lot of crazies coming in and out, literal crazies. I talk to them. I'm very friendly with them because that's kind of like what I do. But I was vaping because that's what I do also. And this guy comes up to me like in a fury. He is furious with me. And he's like, "What are you trying to do? Die of popcorn lung?" And so I'm like, I kind of laughed at him, right? And he's like, "What do you think? Glycol's a joke? You think glycol's a fucking joke, son?" And I'm like, I'm not following you. And he's like, "My homeboy vaped for 5 days, and his lungs fucking disappeared. Popcorn lung. It's that glycol. And I'm like, and I like started to go, okay. First off, no, glycol, whatever you think glycol isn't that. And that's not what causes popcorn lung. And I'm like, it's like a diacetyl or diacetyl, however you pronounce it, right?
Diacetyl.
And diabetes. And he fucking gave me this look like you ignorant motherfucker. Go ahead with your glycol and fucking we'll see what happens. And like a week later, right? I was walking to the car, to the company car, and I was vaping. And he's like, still hitting that glycol, I see, huh? Got a death wish. and I'm like, yeah.
I guess so.
That's not a death wish.
So I have a death wish according to this guy. And one of these days when he's outside, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, my lungs! It's that goddamn glycol!
The glycol got my lungs!
They're disappearing."
I can feel them. I can feel them. They're disappearing, like in Back to the Future 2, when his family's disappearing out of the picture.
The government came and took my baby.
My baby.
It's cold in Minnesota. I need that antifreeze.
Yeah, right.
You gotta make that glycol.
Gotta make sure that my lungs don't disappear.
Yes, my grandma looked great in her casket. Do that formaldehyde.
Yep.
Yeah.
She looked better than she's ever looked.
Right? Nom.
Yeah. Okay. So here's something funny too. Okay, Mad Dog Vape Shoot Scott from the UK. He said there's more diacetyl in cigarettes than there is in e-juice. Of course, true. There's more of everything in fucking cigarettes than there is in e-juice. The funny thing is, this kid literally every time I see him is smoking a cigarette. I mean, of course he is.
Naturally.
Because he's the one. It's always the smokers who are like, we'll see in 10 years when I'm dead and you're still alive. Who's the real idiot?
You're gonna die.
It's like, let's see who dies first, motherfucker. Because I know one thing. I'm not going to say, and I don't think anybody should say, that vaping is without harm or without any kind of fucking side effects. Because I tell you what, just from vaping in the house, my windows get this fucking oily ass shit on them.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
I'm always having to clean my windows.
On a Monday morning, she'll walk out onto the 3-season porch and be like, "Clean those fucking windows now." And
so there's obviously some kind of residue that's going in us, and whatever. But I know one thing: I feel better.
Yeah.
I don't cough up fucking happy black shit in the mornings. I can walk a mile without fucking dying. I feel better. I just feel better. And so
PG is a natural air sterilizer in itself. Exactly. They pump it into hospitals. They use it in asthma inhalers to sterilize the suspension.
The only thing that I worry about is heating up the artificial food flavorings and inhaling.
Right.
Well, you're talking about the stuff on your walls and on your windows and stuff. just remember back to when you smoked.
No, I know.
When you're, I know, but I'm just saying. But that shit used to be yellow.
Yeah.
As opposed to just a clear, oily film.
Right.
You know, granted, I know it's harm reduction. It's not harm,
removal.
You know, you're not getting rid of harm. You know, you're just it's a less harm. You know, so yeah, we don't know what the long-term effects are, but now it's a hell of a lot better.
I guarantee it's not going to be fucking lung cancer, throat cancer. I guarantee it's not going to be COPD. It's not going to be asthma, because all those things that I was starting to get, right,
or
are all gone. Like I used to get bronchitis every year during wintertime. When wintertime would hit, I would get an infection in my chest every fucking year. It's been 6 years since I've had it.
I haven't had a sinus infection since I started vaping 2 years ago.
That's it. That's it. We can only go by by our personal experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's
all right. It's different for everybody. You know, your body's gonna react differently to all the ingredients. You know, like we have friends in the group, Chris Sherlock. He developed over time actually a
thank you.
allergy.
Hold on. Let's make this more interesting. There we go. Okay. You were saying.
Yeah, right. Present. So Squirrely, Chris Sherlock, he developed a PG allergy over the 2 years that he's been vaping. And it's only certain grades of propylene glycol that he has issues with, because he can vape an 80-20 of somebody else and then vape an 80-20 of one specific brand, and he'll end up getting, throat issues and the hives and everything, and then go back to that other company.
Yeah, I'm very sensitive to PG. That's why I always have PG high. There's little things like it'll make my legs swell up sometimes, and it makes it's heavy in my chest and shit. But
well, I was going to point out artificial sweeteners is something that concerns me. Yeah. Because I don't do any artificial sweeteners in my coffee or Coke products or sodas or anything like that, and so I certainly don't want to be vaping that shit either.
No.
I realize that there's probably some of it just in certain flavorings alone.
Yes.
But when I DIY, I don't add any extra sweeteners.
And I don't recommend anybody do.
Right.
In my opinion, it also it's a coil killer.
Yep.
And we don't, that's an unknown. I mean, I don't even want to put that shit in my body, in the food that I eat or the stuff that I drink. So, I make my own liquid. I don't do that.
Look what you get when you don't put fucking, sweeteners in there. It's a beautiful amber, beautiful, clear, wonderful, bubbly fucking liquid. You don't need sweeteners, and the VG is sweet. The flavoring has a certain level of sweetness. You know what I mean? It's just don't put sweetener in it. That's my fucking advice. Don't put fucking sweetener.
You won't get loogies in your juice, right, Eddie?
Yeah, that's right.
no loogies.
That was so
juice loogie.
That was so fucking gross.
Oh my god. They actually contacted me too. Because I said, I'm going to make a follow-up video because you guys never sent me a return label.
That's what I was going to ask. Did they ever return that?
No, never. And she was like, well, no, I'd like your phone number so my senior such and such can call. I said, you've wasted enough of my fucking time. No, I don't think so.
What happens when you spit a loogie in your juice?
Look like it.
I look like it. I got some dinner lady for review, and one bottle looked like it had a loogie in it.
Oh, God.
It was bad, too. It was big. And then the other one had broken glass.
Yeah.
Which juice?
The from their tornado line.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the tornado line, to be honest.
Yeah. So
Lemon tart is like the shining house on the hill in their line. To be honest.
But what made me nervous about it was, and I brought it up in the video, was like those bottles, the tornado line, are clear. The bottles are clear. So you can see what's in it. What about the other bottles that we can't see?
Right.
Exactly.
I have to.
Karen Presley said that she would never vape because of your review. She would never vape another bottle that wasn't clear.
It's
a good idea.
Straight up said that. She goes, "I'll never vape another bottle that's not clear."
I have to say this too, that this was given to me as a gift, but it came with a broken dropper inside as well.
Yep.
So I had to strain the glass out of it.
Yep.
I've had the bottle.
Scary.
The bottle of cornflake tart that I got from them had a broken dripper in it, but it was cleanly broken. There was no glass particles. It was just broken off cleanly. So, but it was still a pain in the ass, you know.
It was down in there though.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
that's why you just order, that comes in the unicorn bottles.
Are we already at the point where you're pimping fucking products?
Hey, Yeti brought it up first.
I was just dripping. That's all I was doing.
Don't fucking try to lay it on Yeti, Paul. You pimp.
I'm just pimping out lanyards.
Yeah. If you're gonna do the lanyards. You know how much those fucking chubby gorillas, these the actual chubby gorilla bottles are? The ones with the actual gorillas, the ones I sent you guys?
Yeah.
Those are fucking $2 a piece.
There's a ball. Yeah.
Fucking $2 a piece. I went into the shop and I was like, because I just wanted 30 ml bottles to send you guys. And I'm like, Shane, so give me 10 of these, right? And he's like, yeah, that'll be like 20 something bucks. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, give me 10 of them, or give me give me 5 of them. Yeah, give me 5 of them. Less people are getting this juice now.
He's like, let me check my wallet. I can afford 5.
I got me a 10% discount, which is cool, but you got me for free.
They're 40 cents, but you got to order 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pete says, change the juice name to Lanyard.
That's a really good name.
Lanyard.
But it would only make sense to us. Everybody else would be like, what the fuck is lanyard? I'm not vaping.
Yeah. Why the fuck am I vaping lanyard? Lanyards suck.
Lanyards taste like Marlboro Reds.
Oh, God. Has anybody ever, when you first started vaping, did anybody vape straight like Camel, Marlboro, any of those flavors?
Yeah. I did a red tobacco from, it was gas station juice out of a fucking like.
Oh, God.
And it wasn't bad when I first started, but then, I went over E-Cig Barn, got a fucking, got their Marlboro flavor. And, it was called Cowboy, and it was good. It was one of the best Marlboro red flavors I've ever had. And it's one of my go-to tobacco flavors for, for when I do go back.
You want a good tobacco flavor, Paul? Honestly, hit up fucking Fat Tony by Omageddon. It's the best. It's the best tobacco flavor on the market.
Well,
Fat Tony from Omageddon, or go to Coil Vapes and get High Tower.
Or Pistachio.
High Tower is a good one.
Pistachio RY4 from
Charlie
Noble is really good.
Yes, it is.
I know Giz will fucking attest to that. That's a really damn good juice.
Or just stay the fuck away from tobacco flavors, because every time I have a tobacco flavor, I want a fucking cigarette. How's that?
See, it's the opposite for me, because I know that a real cigarette will never taste as good as a good RY4. There's no way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to address some stuff in the chat, and then I wanted to get into why I was asking that question. So somebody was saying that the smell of cigarettes makes them, really like sick to their stomach. The longer that I've been away from cigarettes, my smell and my taste are going. It's like almost like superpowers, right? I was walking through the office the other day, right, and there was a lady like 3 offices down who was eating a banana, and I could smell that fucking banana so fucking strong. And I turned and I said, "Are you eating a banana?" And she goes, "Yeah, like I ate a banana like 5 minutes ago." And I was like, "It's all I can fucking smell is bananas." And so all the bad smells, all the good smells, like it's just overwhelming. And like I've been looking for cars lately because we still haven't bought a car. It's been such a pain in the ass trying to find a car. And I'll get into a car, and if people have been smoking in it, there's no way. Even if somebody was like, "I'll give you this 2005 fucking whatever, beautiful fucking car with 20,000 miles on it," but people have been smoking in it. I couldn't I couldn't. It's obnoxious. I mean, it makes me sick, man.
We had a company over last night, and I go outside to vape, because the wife doesn't like the VG in the house, and so I was outside, and my buddy Mike comes outside, and he's a smoker, and every time I would go out 2 minutes ahead of him so I could vape as fast as fucking possible.
He comes out.
Because he comes out and we'll sit there and we'll shoot the shit for a good 3 minutes while he's ripping a butt and I'm vaping. But last night my senses were so heightened that just him lighting that cigarette, man, it was actually making me nauseous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lady who works with me. She's a really sweet lady. She's a lot older, but we've become friends. And so when I go out to vape, she'll go out to smoke. When she goes out to smoke, I'll go out to vape. It's always nice to have somebody to kick around with when you're outside, right? And but what I do is I stand pretty far from her, and I try to figure out which way the wind is going, and I'll just stand upwind from her and shit. It still stinks, but I can deal with it. It's just like when I'm in an enclosed environment like a car where there's been a lot of smoking, that smell you can't escape from. There's just something about it. It fucks me up. Okay, but why I was asking about tobacco vapes is that a while ago, I mean, this has got to be 2 years ago, we got a line of juice in called Liquid Nebula.
Yep.
And they had a few good juices. There was some weird ones. They had like a spearmint one and some pretty random juices, but they were real high quality. Came in glass bottles, good ingredients, all that shit. But one of them was called, I forget what it's called. It was called like Marlboro Man or some shit like that. No, they were all named after outer space things. So it was some kind of nebula name, right? But basically what it was Marlboro. And it literally tasted identical to Marlboro. And not just that, but it actually smelled. The vape smelled so much like Marlboro. And at first I was vaping it, and during the review I was like, hey, that's not bad. Josh was like, this is fucking awful. But I was like, it's not bad. It's like really, really like a cigarette. And I'm like, this would be really good for somebody who wanted to stop smoking, but who likes the taste of cigarettes. And then about like 30 seconds later, when the vape was just sitting in the room and I couldn't get away from it, it made me throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like probably the worst vape experience I've had. It was worse than Black Cherry in a different way. In a different way. Black Cherry is just a worse flavor, but this flavor was like so accurate to cigarettes, not just tobacco, but to cigarettes. Because there's a big difference. I can dig a good tobacco vape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But a cigarette vape, I think, is way off the mark. You just don't get it at that point. If you're making a cigarette vape, you don't get it. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I don't know.
I don't know. I think
crazy.
If you had a brand new smoker and you wanted to cure them of smoking, you just make them a Robitussin tobacco vape.
Oh, yeah.
A Black Cherry mixed with fucking the Liquid Nebula fucking Marlboro.
Oh.
They would never vape again. They would just go straight back to smoking.
I really wish they had, and someone called me, I think they called me privileged or something like that. I went to a Christmas party. We were outside.
Check your privilege, Christine.
I know. Check my privilege at the door. I was like, we were outside in the smoking section. It's like, I really wish they would have vaping sections.
Yeah.
Because it was just, even outside.
Oh yeah.
I was saying to my fiance, I was like, oh my God, is this just me? Or he's like, no. And I was just like, oh my God, it was horrible. But
Well,
I mentioned something.
If I owned a bar, I'd have a vaping section.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But they don't get it. We didn't get it either. How bad we smelled.
Oh yeah.
I did. No, that's one of the reasons why I quit. I was dual using, and so I was just starting to understand. Like my senses were coming back a little bit. I was vaping more than I was smoking. I was going to college, and but I was still smoking quite a bit. Right. This is 2009. There wasn't a lot of vape products available to me. I was still using like Blues and the occasional Ego, shit like that. I remember going into the college smoking area, smoking, and then going back to class and sitting in this class with all these 18-year-old fucking kids and these good-looking girls and all these fucking, you know, beautiful people, and sitting there, and I could just like sense the fucking stink coming off of me.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You could just feel it. It was like Pigpen from Peanuts, where he has all the wavy dirt lines coming off of him. That's how I felt, and I remember that day thinking like, I can't do this anymore. This sucks. This sucks. Feeling like this. You know what I mean?
I was dual using, and I ripped a butt because I left my vape at home. And I come in real quick on a lunch break, just flew in, was just like, I need to eat something. And my wife looks at me and she goes, you fucking stink. I'm like, what? And she goes, I can't stand the smell of tobacco anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, and you're fat.
Well, your teeth are crooked.
yeah.
I want a divorce.
that wouldn't have worked back then. I'd be single without a kid and no house. But you know, like that was day one of me going, do I really smell that bad? So I started vaping a little bit more, and I started to notice the smell of cigarettes off of other people, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's like when I started vaping, I'd already quit smoking for 2 years, I think, 2 or 3 years, something like that. And but I never noticed the smell. It really didn't offend me. I mean, it was noticeable, but it didn't offend me. But then, like, the more I started vaping, and then it got to where I was like a full-time vapor, I guess, you know. I don't know if it's just because I was so far away from smoking that it got to where it's like now the smell of it makes me nauseated.
Yeah.
It really, like, if somebody, it's not so much the smoke. It's like if somebody comes in from smoking.
Yes.
And that smell that's on them, it smells like a wet dog that's been rolled in tobacco.
Oh, God. That's what I was just going to say, man. Is that it's not, you know, I can be outside, because my fiance, she still smokes, she dual uses. In the mornings, she smokes, and right before bed, she smokes, right? And it's like I could be outside with them, her and her friends, and they're smoking. It doesn't really bother me that much. But it's like first thing in the morning, if I'm still in bed and she goes out and smokes and then comes back in to wake me up, that smell is horrendous. And it's like to the point where I go, please, you know.
Go brush your teeth.
Like that's a lot to take for me.
I
want to say, Karen Presley, if your daughter and her boyfriend are still dual using, don't lose hope on them. I dual used literally for a year. And I just kept tapering off the cigarettes until one day, I mean, I was smoking maybe a half a cigarette a day, and until it just started making me sick, and I stopped. Some people have to get there on their own, you know.
Sometimes it might just take the right liquid.
Yes.
You know, if you find that one liquid, and like you just can't live without it or whatever, you might not ever look at a cigarette again.
Straight up.
You know? I mean, like me, I was never really satisfied with vaping until I found the right liquid, which ironically came from a door. But then I was like hooked. You know, I was like, this is the shit, because I was really upset because I couldn't find any liquids that had the flavor, you know, had a real powerful flavor, you know, because I was still had a little bit of because I was using snus at the time, you know, smokeless, spitless dip kind of stuff. And so that had my tongue kind of numbed and paralyzed, just like cigarettes did. And then, you know, like I said, after I got a hold of some decent Adore liquid, I knew what vaping was all about then.
You know, it's similar for me too. It was the first time I had like a mother's milk, because I was used to like vaping a lot of gas station stuff and stuff like the 50/50 Space Jam liquids back in the day before they went high VG. A lot of 50/50 juices. I was still vaping, and it was kind of harsh for me still. It wasn't doing it. It was the first time that I dripped, that I had a dripper. And I dripped mother's milk, and I thought, this is something I could definitely do, that I enjoy more than smoking. And that made a huge difference, right?
Oh,
I'm still trying to get my mom off. It was funny. My son, he's 15, and my mom, I bought her an eye care, and she starts vaping it, and she's like, "Oh, but it makes me cough." And my son goes, "But cigarettes don't." And she was just like, she just looked at him and was like, "Good point." You know,
But,
it's like she's always got tissue. She's like, you know, coughing crap up, and yeah, it's not good.
But there's a difference, right? Because like when I first started vaping, and I had actually quit smoking altogether, right? It was the first month of no smoking. I got extremely sick, like the almost pneumonia sick, where every time I would try to take a hit off of vape, I would cough like a motherfucker. And I was fiending for nicotine so bad, I went outside and I said, "Give me a drag of your cigarette." And I could hit that cigarette so fucking smoothly. It had no effect on my chest. There's something in it. There's some kind of chemical in there that they put in there to numb out your lungs or your throat or something.
Yeah, like the cough reflex or.
Yeah, who knows what it is? But there's definitely something there.
I have a question on the tobacco juices.
Do it.
Did you ever? I think you reviewed these at one point. Do you recall the line that was Black Note? It was like a whole line of tobacco juices that were naturally extracted.
What was it again?
I remember that.
Black Note.
Black Note. No.
No?
I could have reviewed it. I have 500 videos on my channel, so.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff I don't
Do you remember? Nope.
You would remember because they sent it to people in like a wooden crate and shit.
Wooden crate.
No, I remember the only old tobacco line that I got was fuck, I can't remember. They sent us 2 lines. One was a normal line, one was a totally tobacco line, and it was well presented, but it wasn't in a wooden box or anything. So, okay, so we've been talking about some of this shit and all that, right? But I also wanted to talk about the vape community and our kind of our responsibility to it. This was Beauty's topic. You know what? It's already 8:30. How about we save this topic for next week?
Yeah, it's a
big topic
for a while.
It's a big topic. It's an important topic. Yeah, I didn't realize it was already 8:30. So
that's a full show right there.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. And there's a lot of aspects of it that I want to talk about. And I have a lot of shit to say. It's Beauty's topic, so I'm sure she has a ton of shit to say about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you lead the discussion.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. It's going to be your show next week.
Gloves are off.
The cat ears are on and the gloves are off.
Yep.
All right, good.
Then I won't be here next week.
Hardcore.
Pussy.
Fucking hardcore. I expect to see all you goddamn bastards here next week. You know, but I also let's put our heads together. Yeti and I know Hesh is always busy, but Yeti and Giz, maybe we get together this week and we can find out another guest to bring on. I think maybe one more special guest for this topic might be good. There's some names that I'm running on the top of my head, not just the golf tee guys, but there's some other guys. Trevor Jones, Rip Trippers might be one.
Grim Green.
Only if you got $2.2 million.
Grim Green is
some lotion.
If he wasn't so busy, he probably would come on and do something like that.
Nick, yeah, if he wasn't so crazy, he'd definitely be here, no problem.
Well, fuck you. He went on Giz's show before, so what the fuck?
Well, I heard March 10th he's going to be.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, that was a low blow.
You know I love you, motherfucker. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. There's only 11 of you guys left, but you know, fuck you guys anyways. Fuck everybody who left.
They all went to watch that other channel.
Fucking pricks. Is The Walking Dead happening right now?
Yeah, my son. I think my son's watching it or watched it.
We always get fucked by Walking Dead. It doesn't matter if I'm a robot right now because we're gonna get done here. I am not a robot.
Can I do an outro?
Do it.
Shout out to Adore You Liquid. And get off your butts and vape.
Word. Anybody else want to tip anything? Call.
15% off at e-cig barn using code Barn Brigade. 25% off sale at Firewire at firewire.com. VapeGirlVixens.com. Pick up the new 60 ml bottle standards at a cheap price coming up very shortly. Colleen's moved over to $20 for 60 mils, and she's really killing the game now.
High on mods are all half off this week with the code Paul.
Don't even fucking play. That's not funny.
He got all excited for a minute. He's like, what?
My eyes all light up and shit.
Don't worry, there's only 11 people watching it.
Right.
10 people. I think even the panels fucking stop watching now.
Break the law and keep on living.
Yeti, nothing?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Subhuman mods.
No.
PM me for details.
Not until I get one.
YetiWire.
YetiWire. Yeah, go to www.yetiwire.com to get all your artisanal coil needs. And if you want to shop online, you can go to, I'm going to put that up. You can go to, of course, Adore You Liquid. You can also go to thevapingcollection.com. You can use the code OverDose20. It's going to get you 20% off your entire order. And there is a girl, I mean, she's pretty, but by now, she's probably 75 years old because this picture was taken in the 60s. So all I can imagine is that her vagina is probably 6 feet longer than it is right now.
Go to youtube.com/overdose vapes to hear Travis talk like a robot.
It's called rejuvenation. She's been rejuvenated at 75.
Vaginal rejuvenation. Good night, everybody.
Bye.